And honestly, like I'm just kind of at a phase in my life where I wanted to, you know, just do what I want to do and, you know, not be afraid to, like, I don't want to say live life on the edge, but like live life on the edge, I guess. And for me, one of the ways to do that was coloring my hair because I had never done it before. But honestly, I'm kind of over it a little bit. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is tlovespeaksss. I just want to send a big shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me, and to all my oldies, thank you guys for clicking on another one of my videos and continuing to rock with me. So today I'm going to be giving you guys my 1 month color update, and I'm also going to be giving you not necessarily tips, but just things that you should know in case you're thinking about dyeing your hair. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you stay tuned. I know in the natural hair community, bleaching is kind of like a dirty word, you know what I mean? Because it's, you know, usually associated with dryness and breakage and damage, and you know, people just, you know, don't want to use bleach because they're afraid of messing up their hair. So one of the reasons that I chose to bleach my hair, the color I wanted, I wanted it to be vibrant, and I knew that if I didn't bleach my hair, the color wasn't gonna come out the way that I wanted it to. And my consultant actually requires a consultation before she colors, and that was kind of one of the things that we went over, and she was explaining to me that basically if you want a bright color, the bleach is necessary. So in the first month, I can say that my hair has been holding up pretty good. One of the things that my consultant recommended was that I make sure that I'm keeping my hair moisturized, but she told me before she even dyed my hair that my hair was in good condition, and so she told me to just continue to keep using my leave-in conditioner and, you know, things of that nature. In that month that I've had it dyed and I've continued to use my leave-in conditioner, in my opinion, it hasn't been any more dry than normal, but I have been moisturizing a little bit more just to make sure that it doesn't, you know, get into a super dry state. Breakage and shedding. I haven't had a lock completely break or anything of that nature, but I've definitely experienced some shedding. To be quite honest, I don't know if that's because I bleached and dyed my hair or if that's just because of my hair. Like, my hair typically always sheds, but in either scenario, it's nothing excessive. It's not like I just run my hands through my hair constantly and just get globs of hair. It's like sometimes I may be doing my hair and like a little piece of hair may come off, and I don't know if that's part of the bleaching process. I'm gonna assume it is, because I would think that bleaching like kind of like loosens the cuticles or whatever a little bit, so maybe some stuff may fall out, but it's not like to the point where, you know, it's serious and I need to like contact someone because it's just too much. Now I just want to tell you guys some things that you should know that I've learned in this last month in case you want to consider bleaching or dyeing your locks. First thing that you need to consider, one, who you let bleach and dye your locks. My consultant is also a licensed cosmetologist, and I saw pictures of her work beforehand. I also was able to see her hair because she has Sisterlocks, and they're dyed, and I really, you know, like the way that she did it. Second of all, she requires that you have a consultation, and in that consultation you go over like what color you want, the health of your hair, whether you want your whole head or kind of like the ombre effect like mine. I opted for the ombre effect just because I just didn't want to like dye my whole entire head. My advice would be to go to a professional. I know there are people that dye their hair at home, and shout out to you, but I wasn't comfortable enough to dye my hair and bleach my hair just because like mixing chemicals, and I feel like dyeing hair is an art, and like that's just not something I'm good at. Like mixing chemicals, mixing colors, like I just kind of felt like if I tried to do that, I would have messed my hair up. The second thing, which is probably going to be the bulk of this video, is consider the color that you want to dye your hair. So most of you, I think I said earlier, most of you know that I dye my hair a raspberry color, and as you can see, I'm not using any ring lights or anything. This is what it looks like. The sunlight is coming through my window, so this is what my hair looks like after a month. I'll show you the back. The color that I originally dyed my hair was very vibrant, and so naturally vibrant colors fade over the time. She used a demi-permanent color, not semi or permanent, a demi-permanent color. For what I understand, those are a little bit more healthier for your hair. And she used about 4 colors, and she put it on my hair or whatever. And I'll put the pictures of what it looked like when I first got it done. So when you see the pictures, you'll be able to see that it was very vibrant, very colorful. I kind of feel like now in this last month, and I haven't even washed it yet because I typically wash my hair once a month, so it's time and I haven't yet. It's faded quite a lot. Early on in the month, I remember I was spraying my hair every day with water and my leave-in conditioner just to make sure that my hair was healthy. And I text her because I noticed like, yo, like my hair is starting to fade, and I asked her like, is the water or the conditioner, could that contribute to it fading? And she was like, you know, possibly. You don't need to spray it every day. So since then I stopped spraying it every day, but it still faded. So when you are deciding whether you want to bleach or color your hair, you need to consider the color that you're gonna, you know, dye it, and kind of look at how that color may look over time. And if that's something that you can live with, then, you know, continue with it. Or if that's not something you can live with, then you might want to choose another color. There's no exact way to tell like how a color is going to fade, but it is just something to keep in mind that it may not look the exact same as day one. The third thing which you need to consider before you color your hair is how committed you're going to be, because this doesn't look bad, you know what I'm saying? I still go out, and even though it's a month later and it's faded, I still get compliments. But it's time for a touch-up. Like, it's already time for a touch-up. I can see some of the blonde parts of where she bleached it, they're kind of starting to shine through. And I'm sure you guys can see some of them kind of look brassy. Some of my locks kind of look brassy, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I just kind of roll with it. And while my hair is in good condition and it's healthy, I don't want to risk putting my hair in a bad state by constantly adding dye to it. So right now I'm in the process of deciding, which I know y'all gotta be like, what? Like, she did all this on Instagram about her color? But yeah, right now I'm in the process of deciding whether I want to dye my hair a darker color, like a darker red, a blackish purple, or just dye it back black. Truthfully, I don't really see myself continuously dyeing my hair fuchsia and grape colors just to keep that vibrancy. It's just not something I'm interested in the long term. And in the long term, I want my hair to be healthy. And I would imagine, even though my hair is doing good now, I would imagine that if you consistently add dye to it, over time, it would not be healthy, or it would start to like break or whatever. So yeah, that's something you need to consider, especially if you're gonna go red, and this is not red, but to me, like, I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but in person, it kind of looks like a burgundy red to me that it faded to. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm like, well, and I don't know color theory, maybe pink has red base, I don't know, but because it looks kind of red to me, I was like, well, you know what, if it's gonna fade like this, then maybe I should just dye it red so it'll look, you know, like the color that it's trying to fade to. And red was actually one of the colors I considered before. I chose the raspberry color. So I thought about doing that, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna, I see that people who typically dye their hair red end up dyeing their hair black because it's red is so hard to keep up. So yeah, those are the 3 things that you should consider before dyeing your hair. 1, who you're going to let do it, which I recommend professional. 2, the color that you're going to do it. You know, it may not stay the same throughout a long period of time. And 3, how committed you are, because having colored locks can be a bit of a job, just to not only make sure your hair is staying healthy, but to get it to continuously look the way you want to look. That's something you need to keep in mind, because you may not want to it may not be a long-term thing. I still think it's pretty and I still think it looks nice. At the same time, I didn't want to like waste the fact that I bleached my hair, so I wasn't gonna run right back to black immediately, but I'm still not sure how I feel. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should do. Do you think I should dye dark red? Do you think I should dye it a dark purple? Or do you think I should just go back to black? Oh, also one thing that I forgot to mention too, when I was spraying my hair continuously, color did like come off on my hands, like there was color residue. I think if you go back and watch my braid out video, you'll see me like do this at the camera, like once I'm putting the oil on, and I was trying to see if it was like residue on my hands, like dye residue on my hands or whatever, because I know like a couple days afterwards I was still like seeing dye on my hands, like, and even when it wasn't wet, even when I was just like playing in my hair, like there was still dye residue on my hands. It didn't get on my clothes, but it definitely got on my hands. So that's something else you should consider too. Do I really want to be dealing with color going down my drain or whatever? I don't regret dyeing my hair. I, you know, am glad that I did it, and I encourage you to have fun with your hair. Like if you want to dye your hair, do it. Just make sure you do it safely. And I forgot to point out that some locks are holding the color better than other locks. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that has to do with the color or if the amount of hair in the lock, but like I feel like the locks in the back are a little bit more vibrant still than the locks in the front. So that's something to keep in mind too. Your hair may not hold, the locks may not all hold different colors the same. And also the reason that I'm considering like not dyeing or going back to black or whatever I said is because in the last video when I talked about my 2-year update or whatever, I mentioned to you guys I cut my hair, and while I'm glad that I cut my hair, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like all the growth that I've accumulated over the last 2 years has gone out the window with that cut. But I needed the cut. Like the cut was really necessary because my hair was looking a hot ass mess. So the cut was necessary, but I can definitely see the difference in the length. And so I just want to get back to where I was. If you guys have any more questions that I didn't address, please leave them in the comment section below. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.